Seriously?
Hey guys, and welcome to this news video with myself, 6 Plus Stevo. So I'm a little bit late with this one. This news dropped yesterday, but I was busy with other non-hobby stuff, so I'll get in the news today. And it is the biggest mech, a pinnacle of Orky engineering revealed. So yeah, our suspicions were true. If those of you that remember the old rumour mill picture, the silhouette, we had a feeling on the Warboss channel that it was a big mech, and I mean, it was pretty obvious, wasn't it? There wasn't much else it could have been. And yeah, this is what we've got. So let's take a look at the article. Warhammer World Anniversary, big mechs get bigger in a new Orc Codex. So, it's a simple fact that Orc technology is the best in the galaxy, or so the big green chap looming over our shoulders tells us. Not many boys have the technical know-whats to build their own ramshackle gear. However, so they rely on gifted mechs who possess rare engineering skills to craft their instruments of carnage. The biggest and strongest of these mech, known appropriately as big mechs, possess prestige on par with warbosses, and now they're getting a new miniature to match their supreme stature. There's the trailer that you would have seen at the beginning of this video. Very cool, I'm sure you'll agree. This hefty lad has had enough of walking around on his own 2 feet like a chump, and has instead strapped into a rugged exo harness designed to carry the massive madcap weapons big mechs are so fond of. He's loaded with minute mechanical details, from the wires and metal plates crudely crafted to his body to the torn apron filled with tools as though he's clanked straight out of his workshop. And then we get a few of the images here, some of the different loadouts he can have. It's all pretty impressive looking stuff. So we've got the one here with the good old custom Mega Blaster in there. I love the design of that, the way that that's sort of enclosed over his arm and everything. It looks really, really cool. It is packed with detail, this miniature. It's very, very cool indeed. And like I say, he's got like this exosuit, so he actually stands tall. You can see his feet. He's sort of strapped in like a harness over the back, and you can see his feet end here, so he stood on like the pedals of like these big sort of Death Dread style feet, and you know, he's got this big servo harness thing that can hold and incorporate all his gear and everything. So yeah, really, really nice indeed. And I love the options. Like, you've got the option of the drill here, the big mech claw, which I presume will be the power claw. And yeah, a few different weapon options. So this is very cool indeed. So it's only fair that the biggest, smartest engineers keep all the best gubbins for themselves. And this gives the big mech a selection of powerful weapons to pick from. This odd boy engineer can pinch through power armor with a brutal hydraulic claw, or improvise new ventilation systems in tank holes with a whirring driller. So yeah, that's traditionally how they've been used in the past, isn't it? That it's effectively like a kill saw like equivalent. This is probably going to be better against vehicles, and this will be better at taking out sort of tough infantry units. He also comes with a custom Mega Blaster, which he can trade out for a portable tractor blaster capable of dragging aircraft out of the sky. So, and then we get that. So the tractor blaster. Very cool indeed. It's got the anti-fly 3+ keyword. Cool. Devastating wounds as well, which will combine nicely with that anti-fly 3+. So yeah, he's going to pose a serious threat to flyers. Are many people using flyers these days though? Currently in 10th, I don't think many people are. But still, nice option to have. And they've included the stats for this weapon. So we've got a range of 36 inches. That's not bad at all. He only gets one shot on his standard ballistic skill of 5+, strength 10, AP -2, and a damage of D6 +1. And them becoming devastating wounds, yeah, pretty damn good. I think it's going to be a pretty powerful gun against most vehicles if it hits. It's definitely going to be better against the flyers, obviously. The Big Mech's extravagant personal technology isn't limited to weapons either. Their bionic exoskeleton incorporates a shock booster that makes boring holes in the fabric of reality a doddle. With the flip of a switch, the mech and their entourage fly through the warp to emerge on the other side of walls, fortifications, and even enemy mobs. Perfect for getting into position before a big hollering charge. So that's cool. So it looks like we're getting some kind of deep striking shenanigans there. Very, very cool indeed. And more options to be able to do that is really, really cool, especially if you're running sort of close range units or melee units. And let's face it, we're playing orcs. The chances are you probably are. So that's cool that he's got that ability. And there is the shock booster there, very similar to on the shock jump dragster, isn't it? On the back of that. You can re-roll advance rolls made for this model's unit. In addition, each time this model's unit makes a normal advance or fallback move, until that move is finished, models in that unit can move horizontally through models and terrain features, but cannot finish a move on top of another model or its base. Right, so it's not like it's not a deep strike as such, but it does sort of allow them to kind of phase in and out. And sort of ignore terrain and other units and stuff. So that's going to be really useful. That's going to give the unit some nice flexibility. I like that actually. That's a bit more of an interesting way rather than just giving them the deep strike, which would be the same as several other units. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's going to really help you get that unit to where it's needed. That's if they make a normal advance or fallback move. Yeah, very, very cool. Very cool. Means they could fall back out of harm's way, fall back through a building or something. Models in that unit can move horizontally, which is that way, isn't it? Not vertically. Through models and terrain features. Yeah, cool. We like that a lot. If you want to get your hands on this biggest, most beautiful of big mechs, you'll get your first chance in a new orc battle force, the Stomper Boys. As the name suggests, it stars one of the biggest plastic models in the Warhammer 40,000 range, the monstrously massive Stomper, along with a gaggle of hangers-on to witness its epic rampages. And this is the box that they are talking about, and yeah, it's a pretty cool box. So what do we get in here? We get, of course, the Stomper itself, along with this new big mech. And then we get two sets of looters or burners, or one. So we could, yeah, that's cool. So that's a multi-purpose kit that you can build looters or burners out of. So you could have 2 squads of looters, or a large squad of looters, or 2 squads of burners, or mix and match like they've done in this picture here. That's cool. They've included the boys as well. It's the new boys, which I personally think is a bit of a missed opportunity. This set would have been a lot better with the other boys kit, the older boys kit that's still currently out. One, because it's just a better kit, but two, because that kit meshes really well with the looters and burners. Imagine if you'd had another boys kit in here, you could have then made 10 looters, 10 burners out of this set, and I think that would have made it a much more appealing set. I think a lot of players will prefer to have these new boys because some people tend to prefer them. I'm not in that camp. I definitely prefer the older boys, but cool nonetheless. And the truck's just a solid kit that is just always awesome. Nice, yeah, it's a nice kit, and I think there'll be some savings to be had here. Um, I mean, yeah, fantastic. All in all, you get the new Big Mech, the Stomper, 10 boys, a truck and 10 looters. If you've ever wanted to know what it feels like to unleash a Titan scale beating on all of your sad, orkless friends, this is the time. Just look at it compared to an Imperial Knight. Yes, it is far larger and probably more impressive. I don't know if it's as good on the table though. I noticed they compare the scale of the miniatures and not the data cards. I imagine the data cards would tell a very different story. That knight would probably annihilate this Stomper, let's be honest. But it doesn't look as cool, does it? Last but not least, you'll need updated rules for all these boys. And the latest Codex Orcs has everything you need. It's packed with background lore on the biggest wars, the mightiest warlords, and modern day goings on of our favourite Green Horde. We'll have more from its packed pages as we get closer to release. And we know the release is coming very soon because they did the roadmap thing, didn't they? Quite a while ago, and said it would be spring. Around the same sort of time as the Tower getting all their attention at the moment. I've got a feeling we are next in line. This is the first little teaser, and we get a look at the book, at the Codex itself, with the new artwork on it. I like it. Yeah, it's sort of just a generic war boss charging in. You got the boys behind him. You can see a Dakka jet flying overhead. We've got explosions going on. We've got a squig down here. It's cool. It's cool. It's I like it. I'm pleased they didn't just reuse artwork from an older Codex. I'm not sure if that's an original piece of art or if that's been. I feel like I've seen that piece of art elsewhere, but I don't think it's been used on the cover of a Codex before. So yeah, very, very cool indeed. It's exciting. I'm really looking forward to getting this new Codex. Just to be able to try and use different detachments that aren't just melee focused. Want to check out everything else revealed at today's event? Head back to the preview hub to browse the lot. Well, I won't do that. If you guys want to do that, then by all means do. I will share a link to this article down in the description below if you want to go and read this for yourself and have a look. But let's just take a look back at this fella again now. Just get a proper look. So we can see he's got a choice of 2 different heads. I wasn't very active yesterday in the community and I see a lot of people chatting about it. I've sort of skimmed over. I see there's a bit of chat with some people saying they don't like the head with the closed mouth. I do. I like that head. I think he looks quite mean and he looks a little bit, I don't know, just a sort of a quite brooding, evil nature to him. I like the bolts going up his chin there. I like that. It's a lovely paint job they've done on it as well. And he's got like a real Frankenstein's monster aesthetic going on with all the stitching on his chest and that, where it's been bolted and wires and bionics all plugged into him. So yeah, I personally, I do like that head. I do also like the other head, which is a lot more aggressive, wearing the goggles, and he's got the big iron gob. I think that looks really cool. So you've got sort of 2 different sort of looks for him there. The fact that he's got 2 different gun options, he's got 2 different melee weapon options, and then he's got the option to have the what they call it, the shock booster. But does he have the option of a custom force field? Because I see no mention of that. That's sort of unsettling. Surely he would still have a custom force field option. Surely they wouldn't take that away from him. And I'm also curious, and I wonder, where does this leave the Big Mech that we currently have? It looks like he comes on a larger base. I'm almost certain this is going to be a larger base than the current Big Mech comes on. Is this going to be an alternative one? Are we going to have options to have both? Is this Big Mech in this armour going to be like a different profile, and we're still going to have the Big Mech with KFF? I do hope so. Or will this guy have the option for a KFF. I'm surprised they don't make any mention of it at all in this article. I would have thought that you'd have the choice of either the KFF or this shock booster. Read what it says. Isn't it right? Either their bionic exoskeleton incorporates a shock booster that incorporates... Yeah, it just says it incorporates it, so maybe that just comes as standard. So yeah, maybe this fellow will be a separate choice, or is he going to replace the current Big Mech that we have? So really like the model, really excited to get my hands on one. Slightly concerned what it means for the old Big Mech, slightly concerned that he doesn't have a KFF, but 100% I'm adding this on my wish list. I will definitely be buying one of these. Don't know whether I'll be buying it in that big set, because that's going to be a big expense. But yeah, definitely be snapping this guy up. He's going to fit perfectly into a Bad Moon army, that's for sure. Yeah, I can see a guy like this leading a dread mob, no problems. But what do you guys think? Make sure you share in the comments what you think of this guy, whether you think you're going to snap one up, whether you think you're going to snap up this big new army set, or tell you what's the other option is that I've noticed of a lot of the weapons on this guy. It'd be quite easy to kit bash one of these actually. This opens up the doors to kit bashing, because you're seeing a lot of stuff here. Like I said, some of these parts, grab that off the back of your shock jump dragster, grab one of them off your mech gun kit in leftover pits, because no one's going to have built that, are they? You're going to have loads of them knocking about. Yes, I don't know, I'd like to see people's creations of, like, you know, kitting one of these out themselves, which, I mean, again, all these new miniatures with like new options and things, even if you don't like the miniature that GW themselves are selling, I think it gives you the great options to be able to kit bash your own one of these. And I think I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them, or kit bash this kit a bit and muck about with this. I also suspect third parties. I think my good buddy Dreadwar Gaming has already been in the chat. I saw that he mentioned that he thinks a lot of the third parties are going to be in on this quickly, and I agree as well. Some of them are really, really speedy at getting stuff out. So yeah, but it bodes well. Hopefully this isn't all we get alongside the Orc Codex. Look, if it is, I'm happy with it. It's cool to have him, but I think there's some other kits and stuff that need a revamp, and hopefully they've still got a lot more to reveal. We can keep our fingers crossed, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that Codex in my hands. But I've waffled on long enough. Let me know what you think, guys. Share in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this guy and his new options and possible lack of old options, and what you think it means for the old Big Mech. For now, guys, I will leave you in peace. This is 6+ Stevo signing out.